All right, pickleball viewers, you're in for a treat today. In this instructional video, I have Hall of Fame player and also longtime friend, Enrique Ruiz. And Enrique has been playing for nearly 30 years. In order to be in the Hall of Fame, you have to dominate for at least 5. Enrique, you've dominated for more than that. We're going to show how Enrique disguises his pop shot today, and also how does he decide where to put it. So Enrique, we've played many times on the court together over the years, and I've been hit by the ball many times by you. You're so good at disguising it and also hitting me in spots I'm not ready for. First off, how do you like to disguise your pop shot?
One of the things that I learned to do over the years is when I'm dinking with my opponents, I try to keep my dinks to look and my motion to look the same all the time. And I wait until the last second.
Okay, and that's what, you hear people say, oh, you really held on to that ball for a long time. And really what they're doing is just delaying the pop because it looks just like a dink and then pop. And we're going to look at that in a little bit.
Exactly, and I think that's a big key right there, is you want it to look the same all the time, which gives your opponents a really hard time, and it's hard for them to read which shot is coming at them because the motion looks the same.
Notice how Enrique's body movement stays very calm while popping the ball. The only difference is his wrist pulls back just enough to get the necessary power required to pop it. Keep in mind, this camera angle makes it so we can see his wrist pull back, but it's much harder to see from Steve's position on the other side of the net.
Well, Enrique, we've seen how your dinks and then your pop shots all look the same, your motion is the same. Now I want to know, how do you decide where to pop your opponent at?
Yeah, very good question. One of the first things that I look for in my opponent is when they come up, if their paddle is way too low, then they're inviting me to go right into their chest. So that's one thing that we want to look for. Also, when they come up, if they're favoring their backhand, then I want them to change and go here. So hitting this shoulder is a really good time because this is really hard for players to do. And then same thing on the other side. If they're favoring this shot, I want them to come way over to this side.
So if you're seeing the opponent that has a big forehand ready, they'll hit their left shoulder.
Exactly, yeah. And it's very effective to do that.
So here's what happens if you're playing against Enrique and he catches you holding the paddle too low. So here's what Enrique does if I show my ready position by showing too much forehand. And here's what happens if I show Enrique all backhand. He's going to hit this shoulder. The other thing I notice, Enrique, playing against you, sometimes I think I'm all ready for your pop shots, and then all of a sudden I'm way ahead of it, or I'm way behind it, like you're changing speeds like you're a baseball pitcher. Is that something you do too?
Yes, very good observation. Another shot is very
So Enrique, if you're when I'm fortunate enough to watch two teams playing where I know I'm going to play the winning team, I am looking for the things we talked about today. I'm looking to see if they're too biased to the backhand, too biased to the forehand, and if their paddles are down too low. Do you ever get to scout people as you're warming up?
For sure. Those are great points, and that's exactly what you want to be doing before you face your opponents. Usually they're going to show you strengths and weaknesses. So that's something you want to look for.